Hello, this is The Bittersweet Life. I'm Katie Sewell. Every month over at patreon.com/The Bittersweet Life podcast, our monthly supporters get to listen to bonus episodes of this show. Here is a preview of the most recent episode.
Hello, Tiffany here, and this is a bonus episode. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Katie is away this week, but I am here with a very special guest, Aurelio, because we're going to interview him. But before we start, I just want to say, forgive my voice if it sounds a little bit strange and wobbly because I have bronchitis. It is still, Aurelio has a bit of a cough too. So we're both a little bit under the weather. So forgive the way we're talking, but we will do our best. So I don't know if you know this, Aurelio, but last bonus episode was all about you.
Okay.
Yeah, you weren't on it, but Katie was asking me some questions about you. She wanted to know what you were up to, what life was like for Aurelio, the 9-year-old. So we talked a little bit about that. But people want to hear from the horse's mouth, as they say. They want to hear from you.
I'm not a horse.
So I have collected some questions from our patrons, the people who support us on Patreon.
Like K and like Lynn F. And like Mitchell Grant.
Michael Grant. Yeah, those are some of them. So we're gonna ask you some questions. They're from our listeners, okay? So you just answer to the best of your abilities, okay? So let's start with question number 1. If you could change anything about your life, what would it be?
Not have religion in school.
Oh, not have to study religion at school. Why is that?
Because our teacher is horrible.
What's so horrible about her?
She yells if you don't do one tiny little thing.
So that's the one thing about your life you change. It's not a huge thing.
Yeah, I don't need too many other stuff.
Otherwise, life is good?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, so here's a question, as you said, from Lynn, saying, what's your experience learning English in school? Now, for those of you who don't know, Aurelio goes to an Italian school, which teaches English as a second language. So she says, do you take English classes? Do you speak English better than the teacher? Do you have to correct them sometimes?
Oh, yes.
All yes? What was the first question? Do you take English at school?
Yes.
And what's that like?
It's good. It's pretty good because the tests are all easy.
Yeah, you don't even have to barely do the homework, do you?
Mm-mm.
And so she asks, are you better than the teacher?
Yes.
Do you have to correct the teacher sometimes?
Yes.
Can you give us an example of when you corrected the teacher?
Not real corrections.
Well, what kind?
Like, she says water and I say water.
She speaks with a British accent.
And it bugs me.
Why does it bug you?
Because I don't like it.
How did she say it?
Water.
Water. What else does she say wrong, in your opinion?
Biscuits instead of cookies.
Yeah. When we had a parent-teacher conference, I think you were in 2nd grade, and she said that you guys were doing a test on all the, the major foods, and a lot of the kids wrote cookies instead of biscuits, and she put that down to your influence.
That is true. Everyone writes cookies and say like can't instead of can't.
They all speak like you.
Kinda.
Do you think that you have an influence over the students to make them speak with a more American way?
Just that they like it more.
So Kay asks, what's your favorite thing about America?
Buffalo chips.
Buffalo chips?
Uh-huh.
You mean the restaurant Buffalo Chip?
Uh-huh.
Buffalo Chip is the name of a restaurant in Cave Creek, Arizona, north of where Aurelio's Nana lives, my mom. And it's a very homey Western style restaurant
really good stuff.
It's got really good stuff. That's your favorite thing about America, is the Buffalo Chip restaurant.
Uh-huh.
Come on. Nana. That's a better answer.
Poppy.
Nana and Poppy, your grandparents. So, what language do you like speaking in more, English or Italian?
Italian.
What?
Just because I know more of it.
You really think so?
because in English, like, I mix Italian and English.
A little bit. Does it ever happen to you that you're speaking, because I mean, I know from speaking to you that when you're speaking in English, sometimes an Italian word will pop in. Does it ever happen to you that you're speaking Italian and an English word pops out?
Yeah.
Like when? Tell me, give me an example.
At school, when the teacher was explaining and I needed to say "si," I said "yeah."
If you want to hear more, support the show. For $5 a month or more, you can keep this show in operation and give yourself the gift of added listening. Patreon.com/The Bittersweet Life Podcast. There's a link in the show notes. Thank you so much, and talk soon.